everybody. We're back. I'm not jumping through my skin at all. Happy Monday. Welcome to Story Time with Shari. I'm back. The whole gang is back. Me, Ollie, my signs, my props, my crazy fiance. We're all here for your viewing pleasure. Say hello in the comments if you are one of our regulars. Make sure that you put in the comment a heart. And if you're brand new to Story Time with Shari, write newbie and stay. I know you're thinking, okay, this girl is too much for me, or maybe you're not. Maybe you are just as excited as I am to be here with you. Good morning, Chrissy. Happy Monday or Tuesday your time or late Monday night, I'm not sure. Make sure that you go grab your favorite cup of something. I'm going to be giving away a digital book today if you can guess what's in my cup, but don't guess yet. I'm going to give you a hint, but I'm going to name it for its official name, and then you can guess the ingredients. And the first person that does, I will be sending you a digital copy of my book, Love Yourself Happy. Before we get into that, of course, I like to share everything that's going on, what's happened over the weekend. Share with me how you're feeling. I gotta say this, guys. This story time has literally been a lifesaver for me. My weekend was okay. John and I got sucked into TikTok. So our entire weekend was TikTok. So we already went from not talking about our feelings to now sitting together and scrolling through TikTok. The bright spot of that is that at least we're watching the videos together, although still true, he likes completely different TikTok videos than I do. So then we're like, oh, yours sucks. Yours is boring. Hey, Kelly, nice to see you. Happy Monday to all of you, all of you guys that are joining. This is Ollie the Owl. He always hangs about, stalks over our shoulder. And I'm Shari Alyse. I am a motivational, inspirational speaker. I am the author of Love Yourself Happy, and I'm also a self-love and joy coach. We're going to be reading today in just a bit from Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. We've read a few chapters of that, and we're going to continue that. But I always like for us to share just a little bit about what's going on with each other, what's happening in my crazy life. And then at the end, after reading, we're going to share. The topic today is, well, what I'm going to share with you are 4 words that have completely changed my life. They keep me focused. They keep me positive. Sometimes they're 6 words, depending on the day, and I will share those with you at the end. Good morning, Samantha. Nice to see you. Hey, Norman. Cheryl, happy Monday. It is a new day, and it's a new week, and I gotta tell you guys, I just said this a minute ago, though, but I couldn't wait for today. I realized how freaking bored I was over the weekend, and I don't get bored too easily, but it was I didn't feel human. I didn't have my wig on. I didn't have any makeup on. This story time with you guys gets me dressed every day. And so I was feeling kind of all over the place. And I looked at John and I was like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. And then this morning I woke up with this joy and excitement for you guys. And so I just wanted to thank you. What I want to invite you to do. Thanks, Kelly. I forgot what we named her. Someone named her Rockstar. I don't remember, but I literally got to get some new ones. I said to John yesterday, I got to get some more wigs for story time. And he was like, John never has to say a word. You just get it with his face. I was like, I know. And this morning, because I always look forward to when I go to get my drink, prepare my cocktail, when I go to do that, he always says something. He looks at me a certain way and he just looks up because he works out there. He just looks up from his computer and he just goes, you have issues. So every day it's do I have issues? Do I need a psychiatrist? What is it? If you guys are first joining, welcome to Storytime with Shari. If you are a regular here with us, put a heart in the comments, actually put it there because all these random hearts I love, but I can't see who they're from. And if you are a newbie, write newbie. Today I am giving away a digital copy of the book. Grab your favorite drink. Today's drink of choice is a Cape Cod. If you know what is in a Cape Cod and you're the first person to answer right now, I will be sending you a digital copy of my book. If you already have my book, hey, share it with somebody else. Good morning, Aviette. Thank you. All right, so before we dive into the book, I'm going to invite you guys all to shake it out. It is Monday. It's time to get the blood moving. If you are able to stand up, shake your shoulders out. If you're sitting, do what I'm doing. Let's get the energy and movement through our bodies, because a lot of times tension and anxiety and stress, they all just sit in there and it builds and builds and builds. And this weekend, as always, I found myself going like that. So I invite you to just move it along with me and shake it out. Do whatever you got to do to be able to move. Because I know that there is a lot happening right now. Parts of the United States are reopening. There's fear and anxiety in that. There's so much going on, and I'd love for you guys to share with me, as always, how you are doing, how you are feeling. Let me know something about your weekend. Hey Susan, nice to see you. Hi Muhammad. Hello Jessica. Hey all. Good morning Joanne and Diana and Shirley. Hello Daniel. All right, so once you've done movement, now I'm going to invite you to get quiet. Because as always, this is a beautiful gift, not just for me, although it is a beautiful gift for you guys to be here with me, but it's a beautiful gift for you to be able to slow down, to take it in, to stop, to gift yourself with being present in the moment and being open to inspiration, being open to love, being open to joy. I got so many topics, guys. Like, I've been sitting home all weekend long with nobody to really talk to this about. So, like, I have this entire list of things I want to share with you. I'm like, one day at a time. You got a full week, Shari. So, in addition to our topic later, we will be discussing joy and a little challenge I have for you guys. Did anybody get what was in my Cape Cod? Because if you guys guess, hi Yida, nice to see you. Susan, welcome to the Storytime with Shari family. If you're wondering why I'm so nuts, it's because it's not really a Cape Cod in here. It is a 4-shot latte. Drink up. But if you're someone who knows what a Cape Cod is, make sure you write it in the comments, and I will be sending you a copy of my book, The First Person That Answers. So we are reading from Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, Creative Living Beyond Fear. And last week we got to the part where basically Big Magic is all about expressing you, letting you out, living your calling. If you have something stirring inside of you, to let it out. So we met Susan, who did figure skating when she was a young child, and at 40 years old she decided to take it up again, not in a competitive way, but just to be able to listen to that voice within. That's something that's always speaking to you and is always like, hey, here I am. Let's do this. Hey, here I am. Listen to me. Hey, here I am. I need your love. Hey, here I am. I need your nurturing. So whatever that is for you, Big Magic is about honoring that. We're only way at the beginning. So if you've missed the beginning, go back to previous story times. Hey guys, welcome to all those who are coming. I invite you to entertain yourself, because right now I'm about to become smart girl Shari. So we're going to read a couple of chapters from from Big Magic. As you guys can see, I am so excited to be here. My mind's all over the place. Once we're done with this, I am going to share with you 4 to 6 words that can change your life. And I also have some good news about my course, which I extended the sign up so you could still do that. And then I have something exciting that's free that's going to be happening on Sunday. This chapter is called Defending Your Weakness. Ollie's already bored. Please understand that the only reason I can speak so authoritatively about fear is that I know it so intimately. I know every inch of fear from head to toe. I've been a frightened person my entire life. I was born terrified. I'm not exaggerating. You can ask anyone in my family and they'll confirm that yes, I was an exceptionally freaked out child. My earliest memories are of fear, as are pretty much all the memories that come after my earliest memories. Growing up, I was afraid not only of all the commonly recognized and legitimate childhood dangers, the dark, strangers, the deep end of the swimming pool, but I was also afraid of an extensive list of completely benign things. Snow, perfectly nice babysitters, cars, playgrounds, stairs, Sesame Street, the telephone, board games, the grocery store, sharp blades of grass, any new situation whatsoever, anything that dared to move, etc., etc., etc. I was a sensitive and easily traumatized creature who would fall into fits of weeping at any disturbance in her force field. My father, exasperated, used to call me Pitiful Pearl. We went to the Delaware shore one summer when I was 8 years old, and the ocean upset me so much that I tried to get my parents to stop all the people on the beach from going into the surf. I just would have felt a lot more comfortable if everyone had stayed safely on his or her own towel, quietly reading. Was that too much to ask? If I had my way, I would have spent that entire vacation, indeed my entire childhood, indoors, snuggled on my mother's lap, in low light, preferably with a cool washcloth on my forehead. This is a horrible thing to say, but here goes. I probably would have loved having one of those awful Munchausen syndrome by proxy mothers who could have colluded with me in pretending that I was eternally sick, weak, and dying. I would have totally cooperated with that kind of mother in creating a completely helpless child given half the chance. But I didn't get that kind of mother, not even close. Instead, I got a mother who wasn't having it. She wasn't having a minute of my drama, which is probably the luckiest thing that ever happened to me. My mom grew up on a farm in Minnesota, the proud product of tough Scandinavian immigrants, and she was not about to raise a little candy ass. Not on her watch. My mother had a plan for turning around my fear that was almost comic in its straightforwardness. At every turn, she made me do exactly what I dreaded most. Scared of the ocean? Get in that ocean. Afraid of the snow? Time to shovel snow. Can't answer the telephone? You are now officially in charge of answering the telephone in this house. Hers was not a sophisticated strategy, but it was consistent. Trust me, I resisted her. I cried and sulked and deliberately failed. I refused to thrive. I lagged behind, limping and trembling. I would do almost anything to prove that I was emotionally and physically totally enfeebled. To which my mom was like, "No, you aren't." I spent years pushing back against my mother's unshakable faith in my strength and abilities. Then one day, somewhere in adolescence, I finally realized that this was a really weird battle for me to be fighting. Defending my weakness? That's seriously the hill that I wanted to die on? As the saying goes, argue for your limitations and you get to keep them. Why would I want to keep my limitations? I didn't, as it turned out. I don't want you keeping yours either. Hey, everybody that just joined. Thanks, Chris. Hey, thanks for the spam in there. Love that, you guys. Everybody, give a thumbs up to the spam. All right, and then the next chapter, and this is the last one we'll read for today. It's very short. It is called Fear is Boring. Over the years, I've often wondered what finally made me stop playing the role of Pitiful Pearl, almost overnight. Surely there were many factors involved in that evolution. The tough mom factor, the growing up factor, but mostly I think it was just this. I finally realized that my fear was boring. Mind you, my fear had always been boring to everybody else, but it wasn't until mid-adolescence that it became at last boring even to me. My fear became boring to me, I believe, for the same reason that fame became boring to Jack Gilbert. Because it was the same thing every day. Around the age of 15, I somehow figured out that my fear had no variety to it. No depth, no substance, no texture. I noticed that my fear never changed, never delighted, never offered a surprise twist or an unexpected ending. My fear was a song with only one note. Only one word, actually, and that word was stop. My fear never had anything more interesting or subtle to offer than one emphatic word. Just pretend I said that word right. Repeated at full volume on an endless loop. Stop, 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 stop. Which means that my fear always made predictably boring decisions, like a choose-your-own-ending book that always had the same ending. Nothingness. I also realized that my fear was boring because it was identical to everyone else's fear. I figured out that everyone's song of fear has exactly that same tedious lyric, stop, 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 stop. True, the volume may vary from person to person, but the song itself never changes because all of us humans were equipped with the same basic fear package when we were being knitted in our mother's wombs. And not just humans. If you pass your hand over a petri dish containing a tadpole, the tadpole will flinch beneath your shadow. That tadpole cannot write poetry, and it cannot sing, and it will never know love or jealousy or triumph, and it has a brain the size of a punctuation mark, but damn it, it sure knows how to be afraid of the unknown. Well, so do I. So do we all. But there's nothing particularly compelling about that. Do you see what I mean? You don't get any special credit, is what I'm saying, for knowing how to be afraid of the unknown. Fear is a deeply ancient instinct, in other words, an evolutionary vital one, but it ain't especially smart. For the entirety of my young and skittish life, I had fixated upon my fear as if it were the most interesting thing about me, when actually it was the most mundane. In fact, my fear was probably the only 100% mundane thing about me. I had creativity within me that was original. I had a personality within me that was original. I had dreams and perspectives and aspirations within me that were original. But my fear was not original in the least. My fear wasn't some kind of rare artisanal object. It was just a mass-produced item available on the shelves of any generic box store. And that's the thing I wanted to build my entire identity around. The most boring instinct I possessed? The panic reflex of my dumbest inner tadpole? No. That's the reading from today's Big Magic. I friggin' love Elizabeth Gilbert. I don't know about you guys, but she made me go off to Italy in 2013 when my fiance at that time was a boyfriend. Kurt broke my heart. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go live my dream. And I had that voice inside that was like, so go to Italy, do what you've always wanted to do. And I had no idea how I was going to do it. Sorry, not smart anymore. I had no idea how I was going to make it in Italy. I was waiting tables at the time. I had no money. I had no plans. I didn't speak Italian. But I knew that something was stirring inside and said, go. And so I just said, okay. And I announced it. I announced it to everybody. I'm going to Italy. That was it. And what I did was I quit my job. I've been working at that restaurant for 14 years. I was the trainer for the company. I traveled around. I sold my car. I gave up my apartment. I sold all of my personal belongings, and my ass went to Italy for 3 months. And that is what honoring that voice is within you. Guys, there's comments here, and I cannot see. Hey, Drew, welcome. Ollie's here. He's been waiting for you. Oh, thank you about the hair. The hair is a wig. Watch all the other ones. I got a different way. Yes, fear. Diana wrote, fear is really, this is really resonating with me today. I got to tell you, fear resonates with us all, and fear shows up for us in completely different ways. Thanks, guys, for the hearts and love. By the way, the biggest earrings I could find. And every time you hit them, it sounds like a cathedral ringing. And imagine if it's right next to your ear. It's literally a cathedral ringing in your ear. I'm like, oh, okay, God, I hear you. Totally crazy. I'm going to go back and read of you who told me what was in a Cape Cod and see who put it in there first. But if you're just joining, grab your favorite drink because we are about to talk. I need a sip. We're about to talk about 4 to 6 words that literally change my life. And it's only when I truly remember and I stop everything that I am thinking about and that I'm fearful of. And that's the thing about fear, as Elizabeth Gilbert said, and it works so perfectly in this because we can get lost in our fears, right? We can get caught up in our heads and all the ways that we think that we're not enough or all the ways we think something's not going to go our way. And we can get taken on that ride where it's like literally just dragging us by our wig or your real hair. And it's taking you for this ride that really isn't yours to be on. Because when you remember these 4 to 6 words, depending on the day, nobody can take you anywhere. Can anybody guess what these words are? Probably not, because they're so out there. Oh, thanks, Samantha. Drew says, tell Ollie to stop calling me at 3 a.m. Here's the thing about Ollie, and I'm going to admit it right now. I have not talked to him the whole weekend. I have tried to stay out of the office. And so when I came in today, he just kind of nodded at me and he was like, oh, now you're going to say hello? Now that you need me as part of story time? And then I took my medications and all was well in the world and the owl stopped talking to me. Okay, so here are the words that I'm going to share with you guys today. And it's the words that literally every time that I'm caught in a moment of fear and I'm caught in a moment of doubt and I'm caught in a moment of just not feeling like myself, and that is this. remember who you are. And if you're feeling extra sassy, saucy, spicy, it could say, remember who the F you are. It was a couple of months ago, I was going to do a book signing and I was doing a talk at Barnes and Noble, and I was having like these crazy nerves happening. And my friend just sent me a meme and it said, remember who the F you are. And I was like, duh. And if you are someone that's thinking right now, I don't know who you are, I beg to differ. We all know who we are, and who you are is not attached to what you do. So you are not a business owner, you are not a mother, you are not a best friend, you are not a janitor, you are not any of that. Seek a little bit deeper. Go within. All of us, in our own way, actually all of us are similar, are one of who we are, but we all express who we are in completely different ways. Chrissy, your fear has been very strong. Well, here's what I say about fear is that we just give it a voice and then we love it to quiet it down, like that unruly child that keeps acting up, and we say thank you. I understand that you are afraid. This is what I would say to myself. I would put my hands on my heart and I would say, I understand that you're afraid, Shari. You have the right to be. Things are scary right now. I know that things are uncertain, but I got you. And you are safe. And I will take care of you because I know who we are. I am strong. I am resilient. I am loving. I am beautiful. I have and I can do this. And that's the way that we and I would talk to fear. And I would talk that way to sadness. And I would talk that way to worry. And I would talk that way to anxiety and joy and love and beauty. That's the thing. Every single emotion that you're having is begging for your nurturing, begging for your compassion, begging for your love. And the only thing we have to do, you and I, is keep showing up for it. Keep allowing it to speak to you. The more and more that we push down what's coming up, that's how anxiety rises. It's trying to come out. You're trying to push down. It's fighting against each other. And then you wonder why you're short of breath. You wonder why your chest is tight. But what if that, which wanted to express itself, you just let it out and you met it? What if you just met it as it came out? I got you. I'm here with you. I will take care of you. And the more and more your anxiety and your fears feel safe, the more and more they won't build within you. They'll just rise to the top and then they can diminish. And that's what emotions and remembering who you are is, remembering your power, remembering your strength, remembering your courage, remembering it all. Yes, Diana says, God, I just got excited. I am a spiritual being, one of the whole. I just turned into a preacher. I'm not a preacher, guys. For those of you who are just joining, this is Story Time with Shari. I couldn't wait to do this. I do this Monday through Friday with our regulars, with our newbies, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. We just read for the last few weeks from my book, Love Yourself Happy, which is on sale at Amazon for $1.99. I know, $1.99. He says, hey guys, go support yourself and support this crazy gal for $1.99. Or if you want the paperback, it's so pretty, it's $14.99. So here's the thing. Remember who you are. Remember that nothing on the outside can ever truly shake or take away what is on the inside. And that's the message for today. Before we go, of course, for those of you who are brand new, not of course, for those of my regulars, we're going to end with my favorite thing, which is our self-hug, which I will share with you in just a minute. And but before we do that, I just want to share with you that my Love Yourself Happy 10-week course has been extended. We have to meet a minimum number of people. If you are wanting to be part of something that helps you build those aspects of yourself, that helps you remember who you are, that builds your self-esteem and your self-worth and your self-value, and shows you how to express yourself and shows you how to be compassionate with yourself, it's 10 weeks. Private Facebook group. We'll jump on Facebook live calls together. Registration closes this Friday, and it's $147, the typical price. So the regular price is $497. So I've discounted it completely, and it's 10 weeks with just a small group. So definitely do that. And then this coming Sunday, I'm super excited. I'll put the information in there. It's completely free. It's called A Complete Day of Self-Care, and it's 16 wellness healers, practitioners, coaches that are going to be doing an online summit all day long. It's completely free. I go on at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, and I'm going to be sharing with you ways to be able to ground yourself in the midst of what seems like chaos and life storms. So I hope that you will join me there. And then lastly, you can always connect with me on ShariAlyse.com. I offer coaching sessions. I have a private membership group. So and the only reason why I'm sharing this with you is because there's all different ways to receive support during this time. I just have one question for you guys before we do our hug, because all up until this time, we've been self-isolating for about 6 weeks right now, I would say, here in Los Angeles. And during that time, I felt really safe. And I don't know if it's because, I'm in my bubble and, I've got a roof over my head and we've got food on our table. And, I have someone to share it with, even though he barely talks and he makes fun of me. But, I have that. And now that parts of the country of the United States, for those of you in the US, are starting to reopen, I notice that there is an uncomfortableness, an anxiety that's starting to rise. And so I take my own advice and I'm sitting with it. And so I just want to say that I understand that there are all different sides of this pandemic. There's the sides of the people worrying beforehand, and then there's the ones worrying after, and then there's people that don't have any care in the world. And I just want to encourage you that wherever you are on that spectrum, be gentle with yourself. Take good care of yourself. Honor yourself. Listen to that and be there for yourself. When you remember who you are, there is nothing that you cannot do and nothing that you cannot get through. And so I just wanted to remind you of that. All right, guys. It's time for a hug. I'm just trying to read all of these really quickly. Janelle says, leaning into God helps my fear to dissolve. Yes, I will. For me, and I just got to say this, God for me lives within. And so every time I turn within, I feel like God is holding me. And so we all have our own higher power or source or whatever it is that is our strength and that is our core. And so I say lean on it. And right now I'm going to say lean on yourself. So take your dominant hand, whether it's your right or your left hand, whatever you write with, whatever you do anything with, and you're going to take that and you're going to put that right under your arm, your other arm. And then you're going to take your leftover hand, and my regulars know that if you're an octopus, just choose a hand and put that on your shoulder. And then you're going to take your head and rest it right there on your hands, on your shoulder. And what you're going to do is you're just going to squeeze. And I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good to you. And you are going to squeeze the living love out of yourself. Because no matter who you have in your life, whether you have a house filled with people or you're by yourself, the person that can always and always and always and always will be there for you is you. And sometimes we just need a hug. And so for me, I do this every day, and it feels good. And it might look weird, but that's okay. And I speak to myself. So just take this time for you and remind yourself that you're doing an amazing job, and remind yourself that you're safe, and remind yourself that you're here for you. And when you're done with that, then I want you to shake it out. Go listen to Pharrell's Happy. Dance around your room. Jump up and down. And because we're out of time, tomorrow, join me for Storytime with Shari, and I'm going to talk about joy hunting. It's a fun game that I have created, and I think that we all should do it, whether you're by yourself or you're with family or you got neighbors. So I'm going to share that with you. But for now, I just want to tell you all that I love you. We do have toilet paper, Janelle. And Big Magic, we will continue tomorrow. We're going to continue reading this. So thank you all for being a special part of my life. Ollie thanks you. My vodka cranberry, for those of you who got it at Cape Cod, is vodka cranberry. This thanks you. And don't forget to reach out to me to join my Love Yourself Happy 10-week course. Join me on Sunday for the free self-care. and then sign up for a session if you need one just to talk. Love you all so much. Have a beautiful rest of your Monday. And remember who the F you are. Bye, everybody.